No, I want it. I want this on record.
Okay.
This is just
You're fun.
all right. You ready?
No.
Okay. You want to do it anyway?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Kate.
What's up, Becca?
So, I sort of forgot to book a guest this week, but I think it's going to be okay because I have some interesting questions to ask you. Hope you're ready. Oh, exactly the reaction I was looking for. So I'm like sitting in my living room so I can be as close to the Wi-Fi as possible. I just should have I don't know, plugged in, but I don't even have any of those cords anymore that we used to use to plug into the internet.
Oh yeah.
Called the blue ones, or they were blue or yellow, and they had the little plastic on the end that would click in and click out, and
yeah.
Well,
I'm sure there are actual words for those. And I just
no, there is. I just can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So clearly my shit has been a mixed bag this week. I didn't even let you ask me, and I started to tell you how crazy my shit's been. But in other news, have you had your shit together this week?
As per the usual, yes, and also astoundingly no. Yeah.
Well, you have makeup on.
I do. I have makeup on, and my hair, though filthy, is looking semi-presentable because I just have it. It's kind of Gibson girl style right now.
It is. It's very I'm old enough to date Anna Green Gables old enough to date hairstyle.
I'm ready, Gilbert.
Which is cool because that's might sort of be the topic and theme of our podcast today. So you might as well look date ready.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties.
We need 100% more shark attacks on this podcast.
At these little teeths.
Okay, in case anyone is listening on Spotify, which I doubt, and not on YouTube, Kate just took a giant shark squishmallow and filled the camera with her. Don't want to assume gender.
His name is Sharky.
Sharky.
He has been with me through a year or two of very terrible menstruation and then the following hysterectomy. And I thought he was appropriate for Shark Week. So
that's perfect.
That's why I got him.
That is perfect.
So yeah, not having the exact same kind of Shark Week anymore. Yay, but a different kind of Shark Week.
Oh, tell us about that.
Okay, so what happened was when they removed the uterus, I kept the ovaries, yes. And for some reason, I neglected to consider what that would mean physiologically. I was just like, oh, ovaries, whatever. And I did ask. I was like, so what happens to the eggs? Do they just drop into the abyss? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, and then what? They're like, they get reabsorbed. I'm like, funky.
It sounds really gross, right?
Yeah, funky cold Medina. That's pretty neat. But then I didn't really give it much thought after that. And then my first ovulation came around and I'm like, why am I super sentimental about everything and ridiculously horny? What's going on? This is stupid. And as I have no partner besides myself, I was inspired to get on some dating websites because I haven't had a date in 6 years or something like that, but who's counting? And but it didn't bother me a whole lot before, but now it's like I'm gonna get a date. So
a man hunter. I don't think that's how the song goes. I think it's man eater. I don't know.
Probably man eater. I don't know. Doing something violent and exciting, hunting things down, prey, So yeah, kind of predatory. So I got on Tinder because that's what my teenage son recommended.
Oh, always good to go with the teenage son recommendation for dating.
I mean, he was on it, and he ran by all of his selfies for it, and he was like, okay, I got my profile written. What do you think? And I'm like, quite witty, son. Good job. So yeah, so I got on Tinder and I was like, meh, and then I got on Bumble, and then I got on Facebook dating. Just to be thorough, right?
Yeah, you gotta cover all your bases.
Gotta cover all the bases or something. So
you gotta cast all the nets.
What? Oh yes, cast all the nets, every single one. See what I dredge up, you know?
Or play the castanets.
Oh, those two.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong.
No, I'm just thinking crab.
As long as you don't get crabs. But
So right, so that part's not gonna be a problem. I'm too demisexual for that. But
what were we even talking about? I forget. All your dating apps. So yeah, so I was on all these dating apps for, I don't know, like a month or two, not a month and a half, maybe. Let's say 4 or 5 weeks, and I'm like, this is lame. It's like a full-time job. Yeah.
It's like I can't be bothered. So
it's like a full-time volunteer position because you're not even guaranteed any payoff.
No, and you're still like regularly encountering people that you could really use to not have known about in the world.
Yes.
Existing. No offense.
Did you get any dick pics yet?
Thank God, no.
Okay.
Because I don't give my
Hopefully we've passed the age where men send those to us.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think we have. I think the thing is that none of the dating apps allow you to send photographs.
Oh, nice. That's new. That's
right.
New.
So you have to exchange either like Facebook messaging, or you have to exchange your phone number in order to get pics. And I don't do that if the person seems kind of questionable. So no dick pics so far. And the women aren't lacking that class anyway. So
first time I tried dating apps, no, it was the second time. You still could send pictures through the messaging of like Bumble, even Bumble. Yeah. Why do men think that we want pictures of their dicks?
Maybe they're just like really excited about it. I mean, obviously, and they just want to share the excitement, as it were. I've never once wanted to be surprised by a dick pic.
Yeah, I don't find it to be the most aesthetically pleasing part of the male body.
I mean, as an artist, it's fine. Like, it's neither here nor there. It's a lovely part of the anatomy, like, altogether. But like, I'm not interested in seeing it in a state of readiness unless I myself am preparing to make use of it. And in which case it should be present.
I just don't think that any woman has ever said, the moment I met him, the first thing I noticed about him was his dick.
Well, one would hope not.
And I just knew. I just knew he was the one.
Yes. When I saw his scrotum bouncing jauntily behind his peen, I knew that's the man for me.
No one has ever said the dick is the window of the soul.
Well, one could say the same about the vagina being like the eye of Sauron to the soul or something, but like I haven't received pics of any of those kinds at all. But yeah, I decided I wanted to get off of these dating websites and like try something that's more my style. Like just look for activities I like to do. Like I'm gonna find an improv class. I'm gonna find a D&D campaign to join, and I think that's just like, not for the purpose of dating, but just like to get out.
Yes, absolutely.
Because dressing up is fun, and like getting ready to meet somebody, that's fun. Even if they don't show up. I've like twice I've had people not show up, and I'm like, I'm having a good time. You know, I got myself a slice of pie. I'm sitting outside. I'm drawing people. I'm having a great time. So like, that's like, I like that part, but that part doesn't have to be involved with dating. But anyway, I decided that like I couldn't just like give up. I gave myself a goal of 5 dates. And then I'm allowed to delete everything.
Okay. Because you're very strict with yourself. You're very disciplined, I guess.
that is not a statement anyone's ever said about me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it, because it's very strange that you wouldn't just quit. That's why I wanted to talk to you about this today. When I saw you say that on Facebook, I thought, that's strange. Must date 5 people. That's so disciplined and like regimented. Set a goal, gonna meet that goal, gonna check all the boxes.
That's the funny thing is that like I'm actually fairly regimented with myself in quiet. Okay. It's not an out loud thing, because if I fail, then no one knows that I failed except me.
But you put it on Facebook this time, so we'll all know.
Yeah, this time, because I kind of wanted to be called to action, you know. So
accountability.
Exactly. I wanted some accountability, because you know, if I'm gonna say that sort of bold statement, I feel like, and maybe I should not have put it on social media, because now I've had so many friends like, "Ooh, I can't wait for the next installment," and I'm like, and in fact, the one most successful date, who is now a Facebook friend of mine, he saw and liked the last like wild description of a date that I had, and I texted him like, "I saw you liking up that post, and I'm smirking because you know it's not you." And he went, "No, I just really like your writing style," and maybe a little smirking.
That's
awesome. Like, it's okay if you write about our date. I'm like, I might. But it was fairly to be very happy to report that the date with him was fairly uneventful as far as weirdness went. So like it just went really, really well, and we got along the whole time, and it was a good time, and like communicate great, and no matter what happens in the future, I think we're going to be very good friends.
Awesome.
So that's awesome. That's like the most successful of the days so far. It's been a little interesting. So so I've had like 3 actual dates where people showed up and we interacted. I've set up 5, but one canceled a couple hours beforehand. And I was like, and I said, you weren't expecting to have your kids. How about we reschedule? How about like Thursday afternoon or Thursday night or something? And he got back to me a couple hours later. He's like, I actually have to work late that night. It's not that I'm not interested. I'm so interested. I really want to have this date. I'm like, okay. I'm going to leave the initiative up to you to reschedule this date, because that's 2 for me. So
yeah,
it's up to you. Haven't heard from him. So like, buddy, it's not hard to say, I'm not really feeling the vibe. So
it's really hard for people to say that. It is so hard. I don't know why.
Why is that so hard?
We're adults. Know.
I've never even met the guy. I'm not going to be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Like, he seems cool enough to spend some time in person with, but like, I'm not pining. So I don't even,
ghosting is like a new term, right? Ghosting. And I wonder if it's just that we're more available to each other, that now we ghost each other, right? Or like back in the 1980s when people dated, right? And there was no caller ID and no answering machine, and you had to answer your phone. Did that force you to tell the guy, no, I don't want to go out with you? Or were you able to just keep telling him, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, until he gets the hint? But it wasn't like you were ghosting him, because it wasn't like a text that went unanswered, or a voicemail that was never returned, or...
I think I would have to ask my aunties, because they were dating in the 80s and 90s. And I could have been theory dating in the 90s, but I was still like, meh,
Like, I just wonder, were people more assertive, or did it just not feel like you were being ghosted because you couldn't contact people as easily?
I bet it depends on the person. Like, it depends on the connection you had before you set up the date that you got ghosted on.
I'm trying to think, like, well, ghosting isn't just, that's just not like, not a person not showing up to a date. That's pretty hardcore ghosting. I don't know if that even counts as ghosting.
I mean, that's just being stood up.
Yeah. But like, I'm trying to think, like, I know I dated guys in the 90s and the early, like, the 90s, not the early 2000s. Very short time in the 90s I dated.
I didn't. So tell me about that.
I don't know. I think I just inappropriately flirted with men, got what I wanted, and then I don't know how I would break it off with guys
to do at that time.
Yeah, but I can't remember how things would end.
The only dates I went on in the 90s, or most of the dates that I went on in the 90s or the ones I remember anyway, were the ones where I like called up my good buddies and I was like, listen, we need dates to this dance. I don't care who goes with who, but like grab your buddy and get up here, because I was at college. It was Aaron Wixom. Aaron Wixom was down in Provo and I was up in Idaho going to school. We were both going to school. And I was like, there's a dance coming up in 2 weeks. You want to come up here and be a date? I don't care if you're mine or somebody else's, but like, I got a roommate who needs one and I need one. Grab somebody, and he would like grab Pete Hawks and then like we'd go. But that wasn't like a real date. That was more like getting your buddies together and going because you feel like it. So yeah, I don't know. I did. What would because there was a time, and it wasn't that long ago for you and I, when if your date calls you and you can't answer the phone, oh well.
Yeah.
Right?
There was no other way to really get in touch with a person. You could send them a card in the mail. I guess you could show up at their house. Yeah.
But I bet that's how a lot of stalking got started. People just like circling the block, hoping they're gonna find you,
Oh man, we are old. We are so old. Okay, I don't want to change the topic quite yet, but I just have to tell you one thing that I realized this week. I am only 9 years away from living in a community that's only for people 55 and older. And I understand math. I know that 96 is 9 less than 55, but I did not think that I was less than a decade away from being like a senior citizen. What the hell? I feel very and vibrant.
I have been mistaken as a grandma like twice in the grocery store. I'm
what?
Like if I have Sammy with me.
What kind of hip ass grandmothers are there nowadays?
This kind. I think it's because my hair is so silver on top, but it's also like purple, blue, and green. So
that's what I mean. Like, come on, what kind of like maybe it's because maybe you're looking a little bit like a hippie at that point.
Maybe
hippies are old enough to be grandmothers.
I do wear a skirt pretty often in the summertime. And there aren't a lot of people running around in skirts for some reason. I'm like, y'all, it's flowy.
Okay, but wait, we're talking about dating this episode. We're talking about how your 5 dates are going. So my first question,
so on task,
get us back on topic is, are you going to make up the 2 dates or do they count because you put in the effort? Is it like a swing and a miss and it still counts as being at bat, or does it like mean you got to keep going with 2 more guys or gals?
Or gals. I do have one lady. Perhaps we've just traded numbers. We'll see how that goes. There's another lady that I'm like a little swoony over, but she lives in Tennessee, so that's not gonna real far away in Tennessee. We'll probably not, but we'll see. Anyway, the point is, I've decided that it does need to count. When I first made the goal, I was like 5 to 7 because it really depends on how many candidates are in the running. Because like one week I had like 30 candidates, and I was like, oh. And then like the next week I'm like, you 3 maybe. So like, well, and it's not that I'm like finding, that's a lie. I was gonna say it's not like I'm finding these people like lesser human beings. It's just the communication isn't right, or I don't know why I hit the like button in the first place and I couldn't figure out how to unlike, and that felt like ghosting rude. Or like we started talking and then they immediately, made one of those, did I tell you about this comment? I jumped.
Tell me.
Okay, so my profile is like, I'm a professional witch. Will I make you dance in the moonlight naked, or will I send you on a perilous quest from which you may never return? Who knows? Only the strange will tell. So something like that, right? So I've had plenty of people, oh, you're a professional witch. Tell me about that. And then they're like, and then after that one decent question, they're like, hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you? I'm like, you used it all up, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, wipe. But
and then good morning. How's your day going? Good night. Good morning.
I am now
How's your
bored
day
with
going?
you.
Good night. Yeah.
Yeah. Boring. So I'm like, I have actually, if someone's been persistent with that, I've been like, listen, my brain is a very busy little anthill and I need more to go on than what you're giving me. And if you don't have time or interest, that's totally cool. But I'm a peace out now. So like, and some have rallied for a minute, but they can't keep it up, so to speak. So
yeah, don't send us a dick pic. Send us a brain and personality pic.
That's what I need, but I mean, maybe some people just really want a dick pic, but that's not what I'm here for. And my profile explains that, but a lot of people don't read it, I guess, and which is a shame because mine is well written. But anyway, yeah, one guy just started off bold. He's like, "You ready to get off that broomstick and ride my face?" And I'm like, that's actually kind of funny, but swipe left, I was gonna give him points for being funny, but I'm like, if you're starting with that,
yeah,
you read enough to read the witch description, so you should have also have read. That's not how I roll. You're just picking and choosing. That's fine. Swipe. Yeah. Too bad he was cute, but he only had one picture of himself and no description at all. I'm like, I don't know who or what you are. You could be a unicorn, in which case I would definitely say yes. But like, I don't.
Or a bot, or a scammer, or
Oh, I have actually come across 3 scammers.
Oh yeah, they're fun. They always want you to go to WhatsApp, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, nah, because they here.
Yeah, they can ask you for money on WhatsApp and not get in trouble for it or something like that. That's why they always want to go to WhatsApp or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. I just know if somebody asks me to go to WhatsApp, I'm like, no, delete, block.
Delete, block. That's not the way.
I guess it's block, delete, because you can't block them if you've already deleted them. So I should do that in the right order. All right. So tell me, what has been, and now I've not caught a lot of your Facebook posts, so I apologize if you've already gone over this. What is the most uncomfortable date you've had of the 3?
Well,
or have you had an uncomfortable date?
The first one was a little uncomfortable, but just because our neurodivergencies did not meet up. And he was very excited and talked the whole time about all of his favorite books and rather disparagingly of some of my favorite books that he's never read because he's a little bit of a book snob, hasn't read Harry Potter. That's fine, but don't cast disparagement on Harry Potter, asshole. So I want to live at Hogwarts, okay? So, but that was the only awkwardness there, I think, is that our conversation just wasn't really matching. Very cool guy. We still text once in a while, but like we live far enough away that we don't care too much. So but the date that I went on Saturday night was a little awkward, but it was very balanced out by a whole lot of fun, but also there's a whole lot of awkward. So like, okay, so it's a bit of a journey. Do you want me to tell the whole story, or shall I like?
You have time. This whole episode is dedicated to how Kate is getting her shit together with dating.
Well, and this actually touches on something really important too. So, which I can touch on and then come back to, which is something I really wanted to talk about today, actually. So this will work. So Saturday, I had no children, so I was very excited to just have a great day. And I think I had like, I think I had a work appointment in the morning, and then I was good to go after that. And then out of nowhere, the SADS hit. And so since my surgery, I have occasionally out of nowhere been hit with the SADS. And listen, I'm 47 years old, okay? Like, I've been through therapy, I've been through life coaching. I know the signs. I can smell the SADS from a mile away. And I'm like, oh, I need self-care. I need to hydrate. I need to get some music going. I need to exercise. You know, I know how to take care of it. Okay. I'm not one of the people who needs to be on medication. Um, at least not for the last 8, 9 years. So I see the signs and I take care of it.
Mhm.
But since the surgery, I've had SADS hit out of nowhere. I'm just like, I'm having a great day. Da, da, da. What is the point of anything? God, and it's like I'm making fun, but really it hits really hard and it hits immediately.
Mhm.
And so it hit, and I was supposed to go to my friend's Tupperware party. I hate Tupperware parties, but listen, these are my
People
buddies.
still have Tupperware parties?
I know, right? But like,
What?
these are my girlfriends. These are my tribe.
They sell it at the grocery store now. You don't have to have a party. And it's even
Well,
disposable, so you don't have to worry about writing your name on it and if your friends are going to return it or not.
well, this is like really fancy Tupperware. Like the orange bowl had really subtle glitter in it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's life changing. I mean, that's just going to make everything different. The bowl
Well, like,
has glitter in it.
I mean, I actually for a moment wanted to buy it, and I was like, no room. And as soon as she said there's subtle glitter, I was like, give it to me, And I'm
Oh my God, it's not
like,
even just regular glitter, it's subtle glitter.
It's really subtle. Like, you don't realize, you're like, oh, this is a big orange bowl. Reminds me of a pumpkin, which is enough reason for me to buy anything. But then I'm like, taking a close look and I'm like, oh, it does glitter.
So it's a conversation piece, because like when people don't notice the glitter, you can start a conversation with them about how they look closer.
Right. And starting conversations has always been difficult for me.
So did you see my bowl that I brought to the party? It glitters. Did you see the glitter? Look closer. It's subtle.
It's really subtle glitter. So like, I'm like, I have no room in my house for this, but it was cool. But the majority of the reason why we were doing the Tupperware party is because one of our numbers, like, I'm going to start selling Tupperware. I'm going to have a Tupperware party so I can like practice all my lines and stuff. And you guys are going to host it. And we're like, yeah, or not me, but one of my besties, Juliana, was like, absolutely. She's always down to host parties for people. And like, it's like nails, or in this case, Tupperware. And I'm like, I have negative interest, but I love you guys. So anyway, I had like Tupperware party to go to, and then the date right after that. So, and it was like an hour and a half before I needed to leave if I was going to spend more than 15 minutes at the party. And it's like a 20-minute drive. So anyway, and I had wardrobe paralysis. I was in the SADS. I was deep in the SADS, and I had wardrobe paralysis, and everything I put on, I was like, that is garbage.
Okay, wait, and you call that wardrobe paralysis? I call that a clothing tantrum.
I like clothing tantrum a lot too.
Because it looks like a tantrum when I'm done, and it kind of feels like it while I'm having it, because I like when I put it on and I look in the mirror and I hate it, I rip it off and I throw it back inside out.
Oh man, it was a mess. Oh, I remember, it wasn't an appointment I had that morning. I went and did a photo shoot with a friend who needed pictures for her Reiki practice. And so I brought a whole bunch of clothes. So it was already a tornado in my room. Anyway, so yeah, so I was having.
I'm so glad I'm not the only person that has clothing tantrums.
Clothing tantrums for the win. So yeah, so I was having a clothing tantrum. I was having wardrobe paralysis. And I was like, all right. I told them I'm probably not going to make it to the Tupperware party. I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, I need to get my shit together. This is a really bad time to be stuck in the SADS. So I put on some music, I drank a whole lot of water, and I lit a candle, and I remembered that I was a psychic medium, and I was like, spirit guides, help me out here. And my spirit guides were like, wear this, this, and this. And I get in the car and go to the Tupperware party. I'm like, fine. So I got dressed and I was like, what?
But you did it. You were on your feet.
I did it. I was on my feet. I actually liked my outfit. I was looking pretty foxy. And as soon as I got in the car, I was like, oh, right, music. So I put on one of my playlists, and I was like, all right, spirit guides, you pick all the songs. And like the whole 25-minute drive, all of the best dancey songs were going on, and it got me because I car dance a lot. So like I'm like car dancing. By the time I got to the party, I felt really great, and they didn't know I was coming, so it was really fun for me to arrive and just yell, "It's 8 o'clock" when I arrive. Which is what my friends always say whenever I arrive anywhere, because there's no telling when I'm going to get there. So
oh, that's beautiful. I'm so glad
no
your name works so well with that.
It's 8 o'clock. So yeah. So I got there at 8 o'clock, and they were very pleased to see me, and I enjoyed the Tupperware party. Not just because someone had me some bourbon, which was delicious. It's like whips and corsets and bourbon, or whips and corsets and whiskey, or something like that. And it's quite tasty. Yeah. Anyway, so, or it smells neat. However you want to judge bourbon. It's a weird beverage, but anyway.
I never really cared about the taste. I just wanted it to get me wasted. So I'm the wrong person to talk to about taste and alcohol.
Like, and I don't want to be wasted. I have no interest in being wasted. I just want to enjoy the beverage. So.
I would swallow it. I would just guzzle it down so fast that it didn't even have time to linger on my tongue.
I don't know if you can do that with whiskey, because like if I take too much of a sip, I'm like,
hey, you can do that with whiskey. Oh, sweet Kate.
Listen,
you didn't spend enough time with me.
First time this year, okay? So
you didn't spend enough time with me during my drinking years.
Oh, I did. I just thought I was your babysitter. Because codependency.
Yes.
To be useful. So yeah. So anyway, Tupperware party was okay. I think right when I got there, I texted my date and I was like, listen, how about if we move it like from 7:30 to like 7:45? And he texted me back and he was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Cause I'm going through all this crazy stuff. I'll explain when I get there. And my car's heating up and crazy. And I'm like, okay. How about just make it to 8? Just make it 8 o'clock. He's like, okay. And I'm like, cool. That leaves me like 45 minutes at the party. So it was great. Had a great time at the party. I got to the pie bar on time, not 8 o'clock. So I got there like right at 8. It was a beautiful day. I was looking like a fox. I had my sketchbook. What more could I want from life? The clouds were looking amazing, like Maxfield Parrish did them, or Studio Ghibli or something. And I was just having a great time. And it's like 8:15 and it's like 8:20. And he texts me and he's like, oh, I finally, anyway. Apparently he was going through quite the misadventure. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm just going to hang here, because I was having a good time by myself. And there was like live music going. So, because there's a place like right next to Pie Bar that has live music outside. And I'm like, I'm having a great time by myself. And of course I had been chatting up the pie kids. So, because they're fun. They're like, I make friends with all the like Starbucks kids and the pie kids. Because,
yeah, I saw when I was there and you took me to the Pie Bar. Yeah.
Right. They're just adorable. I love them. So
they were so happy to see you.
Yeah, because they're sweet and they belong to me. They're mine. So I'm their weird witchy auntie or something. So, or whatever. But like, so I was having a good time. I was like, they're closed at 9 and it was like approaching 9. So I got 3 pieces of pie because I figured it's from the Pie Bar. So legit, if I don't eat them, I will bring them home and Isaac and I will eat them together. It'll be great.
Oh, that pie from the Pie Bar is undescribable. It's so good. I was like, why is Kate insisting that we go here when she should be like resting in bed? She like is crazy. She's gonna hurt herself, start hemorrhaging. And we got there and it was like, oh, fuck all that careful recovery shit. This pie is amazing.
You're fucking real, right? Like I was never like a big, huge pie person. I don't really like cake. I'm not really into ice cream, obviously, because lactose. But like when the Pie Bar opened, I was like, this is so cute. I should just try a slice. And I tried a slice and I was like, oh, this is my religion now. And like my whole group of girlfriends, we call ourselves the pie ladies, because like every time we get together, there needs to be pie.
I love it.
From the Pie Bar.
Love it. Yeah. But you got 3 pieces.
I got 3 pieces right before they closed, and and then I sat back down outside and was enjoying it. He kept giving me updates, and he even gave me like this, like so that I could track him on the map, but there was bad reception, so I couldn't. But it was good that he did, because like after 90 minutes of waiting for this guy, I was like, my attention span is starting to wander, but he's like 20 minutes away. I may as well keep waiting. So
Where
I
was
kept
he coming
waiting.
from? Is he coming from Maryland to
Yeah,
Georgia?
from Prince Edward Island. So it was a bit of a drive, you know.
Oh,
How
it
it is.
actually was Gilbert.
Yeah. Right? So he finally arrived, and he like cleans the hulls of ships for a living. And it was so hot that day that he had passed out underwater.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah. And come to and still thought he should go to a date. I'm like, dude.
Because his brain wasn't working right again yet because of the lack of oxygen?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like he had gotten home and showered and gotten dressed and come to see me. But I was like,
he didn't go to the hospital.
Right? You know? Buddy. So like, and I had even told him when he said he was having all these misadventures, and he didn't tell me about the passing out underwater thing yet, but I was like, dude, if you're stressed, we can have a date some other time. No big deal. You know, because it's not a big deal, you know? Anyways, he got there. He was super charming. We ate our pie, or as much of it as we could handle, because 3 slices and it's fantastic pie. And then we took a little walk around the neighborhood behind Woodstock, because it's just really beautiful. It looks like a chunk of Europe was placed right there, and it's so pretty. And so we were taking a walk.
This was another thing that I didn't understand why you were making me do it. And once we started driving through that neighborhood, oh my God, same thing. Fuck recovery. This shit is awesome.
Right? And we were sitting, so who cares, right?
Yeah,
it's not like we have to spend any energy. You know? Like, it's so pretty. So we were walking around there. He was having a bit of a hard time because he'd had a really long day, and he has about the same amount of metal in his leg as I do.
Oh, dear God.
Except I hadn't had a long day. So I was like, you know, it's 11 o'clock and we're walking around, and the conversation was really fun, and it was really fast paced and really witty, because we're both very ADHD and don't have a lot of filters. And so that was really fun. He's a cool guy. I like him, but he just broke up with a very long abusive relationship.
Oh,
and that came up a lot, and he would apologize every time. And I'm like,
where's my red flag? I need to wave it.
Right? Like, listen, I'm a massage therapist. So, and people just seem to know this, whether I'm actually rubbing them or not. Like, if I can just meet people in the grocery store and people start telling me they're like, take the can of beans and upend it right over my head. And I'm like, that's neat. Can I finish checking out though? So like, I'm used to people telling me all of the things. And so I was like, that's fine. But inwardly, we're not going to be having a relationship. Like a friendship, cool. But like, dude, you are not ready. I don't even think you're ready to have a friend yet. I think you're
man.
You need so much. I didn't say that, but I'm like, buddy, you need so much recovery right now, honey. Really cool guy. So everything so like the beginning part of the date when he wasn't there yet was pretty awkward. And then I think we did really well until we got back to the parking lot, and he's like, can we sit in your car for a little bit and chat? I'm like, sure. So we're chatting, and like
the first in your car.
Yeah, it's fine.
What if he was a serial killer?
Have you seen my muscles?
But what if he had a gun to your head?
I don't think he could have moved that fast. He was tired.
What if it was an act to make you feel comfortable so you'd let him in your car? I mean, clearly it wasn't. You're here and you're alive. I listened to too many.
Psychic medium.
Okay, true. I do too many true crime podcasts.
No, I get it, because like all of these things did go through my head. And so whenever I meet a person, like, this is terrible, but whenever I meet a person on a date, like the first 20 minutes of the date, I'm evaluating how I could destroy them if I needed to. So, you know, because I'm a woman.
Yeah, that's just part of being female, is knowing that you might be raped, and it's your job to make sure it doesn't happen, not men's job to not rape people. Yeah,
of course. Why would we expect them to be responsible?
No, men can't help it. They can't help it. Boys will be boys.
Meet in a well-populated public place. meet in a well-populated public place and evaluate how they're walking, because I'm a massage therapist. I've learned how to evaluate how people are walking to see how they're injured or what's weak or whatever.
Or if they're a sociopath, do sociopaths have a certain walk, a certain gait?
They avoid eye contact.
Oh, okay.
But then so do people on the autism spectrum.
And people who have crossed eyes like me.
That's a different kind of not making eye contact. Like, oh, which eye do I look at? So everything was great for the first 15 minutes in the car. And that poor guy, we really should, we were having a good time, but we should have ended the date at 11:30, not 12:30. So the last 20 minutes, he was just going off on various conspiracy theories involving aliens and trees and Nazis interchangeably. And that's fine. That's cool. I love a good conspiracy theory. It's interesting, but you can't just state something like it's fact and then not back it up with anything.
Yeah, and you usually don't pull that out on a first date. That's usually something you hold back until the person knows you a little better. Yeah.
Right. So
and maybe it was the oxygen deprivation, and maybe he was really tired, or maybe this is just who he is. And how do you know?
Right. I have no way to know. So in my mind, I was just gonna okay for the whole time. Yeah, sure. But inwardly, I'm he's real tired. He's had some oxygen deprivation. He's on the spectrum. And he can probably feel himself oversharing right now, which is why he's going faster. So I'm just gonna wrap
to get
this
to the
up.
end faster.
Right, let's just get it right. And I'm I feel like he just can't stop himself. And I've been there, maybe not with alien Nazi conspiracy theories, but I've been there. So it's cool, dude. Just let's wrap this up. I'm really tired. So so that was awkward. And then, I asked him to text me when he got safely to his boat that he lives in. And
he lives in a boat.
He lives in his boat. So,
okay.
Yeah. So he texted me and with a picture of the dock when he got there. And I'm good. He didn't die on the way home of fatigue. I'm glad to know that. And then just didn't text me back for a few days. And I was was he embarrassed? Did he decide I forget it. We had fun talking, but I ruined everything and now we can't talk anymore. And I was listen, I'm your friend. Whenever you want to get back to me, it's totally cool. If you're not interested, it's fine. I just sent that out yesterday and he responded within an hour and he was oh, I'm sorry. I finished moving all my stuff out of my old girlfriend's house this week. And it's a lot of emotional turmoil. And I'm it's cool, dude. It's cool. He's I do need some space. I'm take your space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny that your first thought was maybe he was embarrassed, maybe he this, maybe he that. I was gonna go to, did he not wake up the next morning? I have such a dark and twisted mind.
I was worried about that too, but I was choosing to not go there. He's a nice guy and he's cute and I could see us being good friends and I hope he's okay. I really, really hope he's okay. He said he was going to quit the next day. And so that's the next text I sent him was the next day. I'm I hope that you feel rested and I hope that you quit and I hope that goes well. And that's what he hadn't responded to for a few days. So I have no more information on him except that he is alive. So that's good.
That is good. Yeah.
That is good. He is alive. So if we don't ever hang out again, totally fine.
Yeah.
But I hope he does okay. So that was probably the most awkward. So that was 3 dates and the only other dates, one canceled 2 hours ahead of time. And the other date was on Sunday. And I texted him before I left for the date. Nothing. And we've been texting the night before, while I was actually waiting for my Saturday date to show up. We had texted a little bit through Bumble. And so I knew he was okay. I knew he was alive as of Saturday night, but Sunday, nothing. And I was well, I'm here now. I'm going to wait for 30 minutes. And if you don't show, I'm going to go. It's not going to ruin my day, FYI, but I hope you're okay. He never showed. So I took myself to the thrift store and then I worked on creative projects. I had a great time, but
that's the way
so
to be.
that. he never texted me ever. And he actually gave me his phone number too, which I rediscovered in my phone. So I text him like, I'm just going to assume you're not interested. Best of luck in your future. I hope you learn better communication techniques. Well, that's just rude. Communicate.
Well, it seems like you've been on some real dating adventures, and I think that you're going to have to go on 2 more. That's what I think. And I think you're going to have to update us.
I think so too. And I do have 3 people that I am actually interested in going on a date with. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool. Very cool.
We shall see. I haven't lined up anything with any of them yet. But I'm not super anxious to, because I kind of have a busy weekend because the kids are going to be home and I have a massage work thing that I have to do. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna at least commit to 2 more. We'll see how it goes.
Well,
but I do get kind of ticked when somebody doesn't show, and I'm like, God damn it! That would have been 5 right there. If y'all had just shown up, that would have been 5. Now I'm not going to meet my goal, and it's your fault.
Such a pain in the ass. Like, you're not even asking that they stick around and have a relationship. You just want to check these dates off of your fucking date.
I want to meet my quota.
Yeah.
Just move on. Dude, you are a checkbox. Okay. That's all. Just show up and be like, I don't really want to, because now that I look at you, I realize I'm unworthy. And then they leave. And I'm like, that's fine. Sure.
People, if you're listening, reach out and you want to help Kate with her date situation and you live somewhere in her area, somewhere near Atlanta, we'll just put it that way. You should just reach out to us through our email, through our Instagram. Yeah, you should just let us know that you want to help Kate check off her box and you want to go on a date with her. And until next week, keep your shit together. Keep your shit together.
After the show, it's the after party then.
The only thing I forgot to talk about was I got this shirt in the mail. It says, "Vote, we're ruthless." Hold on.
Oh, we are ruthless.
Like, we're without Ruth, right?
Yeah.
But I can't remember if I bought it for myself or if someone sent it to me as a gift anonymously.
That was what kept you from saying anything?
No. That's what I wanted to say and I forgot to say it. I wanted to say this is how the ADHD brain works. Conceivably, this could be something I bought for myself and it took so long to get here, I forgot that I bought it. Or it could be a gift from someone else and I have no idea.
I think that should have been included.
I know. Oh, well.
I want to know how your shit was. Because we just skipped straight to my dating life, which I've already rehashed a bunch. So, like, I want to know how your week went.
I had a doctor's appointment on Monday, and my blood pressure is still high, and I'm up 1 pound, and my cholesterol is a little higher, but the good cholesterol went up with the bad cholesterol, so my overall cardiac risk is still very low because I don't drink and I don't smoke. But she heard the heart murmur, which doctors always hear, and she was concerned and did an EKG, and I asked for a hearing test, and my hearing is 100% perfect. My EKG was 100% perfect. My blood sugar levels are 100% perfect. Vitamin D levels, liver, pancreas, they're all working great. So thank you, for hanging in there with me while I take piss poor care of you. Aww. And I've been doing things like eating a salad and saying, "This is for you, heart. Thank you for all the work you do for me."
That's so cute. I should do that.
like as when she said my blood sugar levels were great, I was like, oh, the way I've been eating for the past 3 months, I thought for sure you were gonna have bad news about that. And I put my hand on my stomach. I was like, thank you, pancreas. And she was like,
good job.
She was like, I was just listening to a podcast with Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, about how you should thank your body and bless your body, and not like, I wish my body was different, but like, thank you, body, for still working for me. And I was like, oh, look, I just do it naturally.
Because I'm just enlightened that way.
So I was a little disappointed the blood pressure hasn't budged. I was a little disappointed that the cholesterol was a little worse, but not it didn't take it too hard as I had before. Like the first time I had the blood pressure issues, I took it pretty hard because I had been logging all my food and making healthy choices and busting my ass with the exercise and sleep and everything. And, you know, this past period of time since the last time I saw her, I've pretty much been sitting on the couch and shoving processed food down my throat. So honestly, I should just be happy that it wasn't worse. And like, you know, good job, body. Good job for hanging in there with me while I had a little tantrum about life in general.
Oh, almost like taking care of yourself emotionally.
Yeah. Well, not even emotionally, because the emotions are pretty good. Everything's pretty good. I think I just really don't. I think it's entertainment. I think I lack the motivation to entertain myself in any way that takes any effort at all. And I'd rather just sit on the couch and eat cookies and watch Better Call Saul. But you know that for the past 2 weeks I've been doing that fabulous app, and drinking water, eating a good breakfast, and moving my body every morning for 15 days now, and I'm feeling great. And I know that it's just the body. I can make it better. It's never too late to start again.
Sounds like it's working for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my shit together with this body. I was thinking this morning that I should take care of this body like the way my mom took care of it when I was little, and I should love this body that my mom made for me and take better care of it, to be grateful for all the work she did in creating it. So yeah, I'm gonna mother my own self. I'm gonna mother myself physically, make sure I put myself to bed on time, give myself healthy meals, tell myself just take enough thank you bite if it's a vegetable I don't want to eat. That's my plan. Hopefully
That's
I'll
really
stick
cute. And that sounds like sweet, because whenever I think of the sort of things I have to do for Sammy, it's usually like there's a bit of stress behind it. Like, if I don't get him ready for bed by this time, he won't get enough sleep, and then he'll be cranky and anxious the next day, and that'll cause trouble for everyone in his periphery, and and stuff like that. So I think my parenting during the school year anyway has more anxiety in it than like the sweet way that you talked about your mom caring for you.
Well,
But yeah, take care of your body like it's not stressful, but like it's a sweet, affectionate thing. Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot more stress in my mother's parenting of me when I was in 6th grade. I was more picturing the way she parented me when I was 2 and 3 years old.
Yeah.
Those
Give her
cozy, warm,
that.
fuzzy memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about it. That was that. I mean, it was a very busy week. It was very, very busy, but that was the main highlight, was the checkup.
Cool.
So I think I've seen all the doctors. Nope, I haven't. She told me I need to go get a colon cancer screening, and I have to see the dermatologist for a skin cancer screening. After that, I think I'll be done for the year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so so many doctors. Yeah, because the week before I went to see the gynecologist, who was not at all concerned that I had bled for 3 weeks. And I mean 3 months, not 3 weeks. And then I went and got
You
the
need
boob
a new
squeeze done.
gynecologist. What?
Yeah, well, yeah, clearly. Clearly I need a new gynecologist. I called them at the beginning of July and said I would like to see a doctor as soon as possible, and I would prefer that it be a female doctor. And they said the very first appointment we have available is August, whatever last Tuesday was, and it's with a man. And we could get you in with a woman. You'd have to wait till October. So I said, fine, I'll take Dr. Kokonokis, or whatever his name was, Kakanokis. I don't know what his name was. It was a very funny Greek name. Yeah, and he was so like me, and my female primary care physician, Dr. Wilson, were like laughing about it in my appointment with her, as I was telling her how he had acted and the things he had said, and it was so ridiculous. We were just laughing. But I mean, as he was going to leave, like he was already standing up and like taking his gloves off and washing his hands to go. I was like, wait. You're not concerned that I bled for 3 months? And he's like, no, not at all. And I was like, but what? And as I would go to ask him, but what caused it? Like he cut me off right away because he knew like he couldn't answer that. He's like, I mean, if you want a pelvic sonogram, I can order one. And I was like, yes, please. So that's 3 more appointments. I need pelvic sonogram. Oh, and then since we're talking about all the disgusting parts of my body,
Yeah, do it.
No, I mean, it's not anything more disgusting, but like since we're going into all the gory, boring details that no one wants to know, I also have a follow-up appointment with the regular doctor in 3 months to check the cholesterol again to see if it's trending upwards or if it was just like a one-time thing, and also to like make it a shorter amount of time so that I'll think more about eating vegetables and walking my ass around the block to lower the cholesterol. She said, if I give you 6 months, you'll say, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And then it'll be too late. But if I give you 3 months, you'll remember to do it. And I was like, you know me so well. You know how short my attention span is.
Wise. That's so wise.
Oh, and I'm getting a new psychiatrist on Tuesday because my psychiatrist just disappeared. And the only reason I know is because Emmett sees a psychologist at the same practice, and his psychologist told him to tell me. And so I went to the psychiatrist's office and was like, hey, I heard a rumor that Dr. Choi doesn't work here anymore. And they're like, yeah, that's not a rumor. It's true. And I was like, well, do you have a plan for me? Should I find a psychiatrist on my own? I have an appointment on Tuesday. I'm about to run out of my pills that are really important to my functioning. Like, I don't want to be like both incredibly ADHD and depressed at the same time. Could we maybe take care of that real quick? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Here we go. So that got all fixed too. See, my life has been very boring. You can tell I'm only 9 years away from the senior citizen neighborhood because all I have to talk to you about is fucking doctor's appointments.
It's important to get that out. That's important shit. If you actually have health insurance and you can get that shit taken care of, that's important.
Yeah. And that is the good thing. I get to do it. You're right. I get to do that because I have that fabulous federal health insurance. Very
It
true.
almost makes me want a federal job.
You should just marry a Fed.
Sure.
Even if it's just a marriage of convenience. I highly recommend
Unfortunately, we don't live in a Victorian society where someone needs a beard, you know? Like, only
Not even in the South?
super gay Fed who just needs to look sort of straight. And I'll be like, cool. Give me your health insurance. That's all we need. I need health insurance. You need a beard. I'll show up to whatever while with you. We're good. Can watch RuPaul's Drag Race together. We don't even have to live in the same house. It'll be great.
That honestly sounds like the perfect lifestyle.
Right? All I need is health insurance, dude. I'm okay. Well, you can buy me a car.
That's about it. But yeah, love Becca.
Love Becca.